Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Ready to pop the question? The jewelers at BlueNile.com have got sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds, and they're ready to ship to your door. Go to BlueNile.com and use promo code LISTEN to get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more. That's code LISTEN at BlueNile.com for $50 off. BlueNile.com, code LISTEN.
Good evening, Gab.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Currans Football Podcast. Anyway, son, how are you today?
Fine. I've changed your tune, haven't you? Usually, how are you feeling?
Well, how are you feeling, T?
Yeah.
Like to change it around a bit.
I'm a lot better.
Yeah.
I had was it Tuesday? I think Tuesday night I broke my bridge eating a pizza, so I was at the dentist yesterday.
Yeah, them pizzas. Was it a deep pan pizza or a thin crusted pizza?
It was a co-op. I'm not one for takeaways, to be honest, Gabby.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But I finished up getting one because I was plodding about doing bits and bats. I ain't got much time to cook tea, so I finished up getting the pizza. I bit into it, and it just, my bridge came down. I thought, I can't believe it.
Some horrible, and when you bite in something and you have something in your mouth apart from the food, and you know it's either a crown, a tooth, a bridge, or whatever it is, you think, oh Jesus, here we go again. But what kind of pizza was it? Was it a pepperoni?
Yeah, pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Yeah. I always have a pepperoni. I like something spicy.
I love a pizza at the Italian restaurant. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't like it as a takeaways.
Absolutely. What magic moments have you sourced for us, T?
Oh, as usual, there's that many.
Yeah, there's loads.
I mean, I picked Carlton Palmer's out. Was it Cole Palmer's out?
Yes, against the Villa.
Yeah. And then I picked him out last night at Manchester City, the winger, what do they call him?
Doku, yeah.
You know, but I'm sticking to my original plan. Some people may think I'm being biased, but I'm not. It's
Barry Bannon.
You know, it was a great goal, Barry Bannon's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic strike, wasn't it? And Barry looked really ecstatic when he scored, didn't he?
You know.
Yeah, they're doing well, aren't they? They're on a bit of a roll again Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, again in that championship, you put a couple of wins back to back, you're in the playoffs or almost.
He's a great manager. You know, we've had it like. No, down in the sense up, down. But, you know, we've had a couple of bad results, and it's always going to make people get a bit on edge. But for me, he's going to be an unbelievable manager in future years.
And he's worked fantastic because Chansiri isn't the most popular of chairmen, and there's been one or two things go on since he's taken over the reins there at Sheffield Wednesday. But against all odds, he really has come through, hasn't he? This young fella.
Well, I think he tried to get him on cheap before the previous manager. Who was the last manager who got the sack?
You had that...
The Spanish guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I mean, I think every manager's been forgotten since Danny Roll took over there at Hillsborough.
Yeah, you're right there.
Cisco, wasn't it? Was it Cisco?
but it's been a great appointment. This one has been a great appointment, and we can knock him for his other things, but at the same time, we have to praise him when he gets it right.
Well, unfortunately, that's what some people do. They like to just hammer. So they give him the stick, but they never give him the carrot. And I think that you have to balance it up. If it wasn't... I always remember asking Alan Hudson a question. Somebody had asked the question, so I was asking it for him. And if Terry Neal wasn't at Arsenal, do you think that you would have stayed, Alan? And Oddie, in his typical way, said, well, yeah, but to be fair, if Terry Neal wasn't at Arsenal, probably wouldn't be there in the first place. So, again, you have to look at things with balance. And it was Chancery that brought Danny Roll to Hillsborough, so he does have to take a bit of credit. If you're going to smash him, then I think you've got to applaud him as well, as you rightly say, T.
Yeah, rightly so. I think when you sign players, you look at it, you think, well, he's got a chance there because he's signing, but it doesn't always work that way, neither does it?
No, it don't. I mean, you look at Everton, they spent all that money, £600 million, and almost got themselves relegated. It's about identifying and recruiting the proper players, isn't it, that can work into that team format and build a team around players and a system that you want to play. And he's ticked all the boxes there. Managers
without
before him.
Without a question of a doubt.
Managers before him.
Very little money on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The sign of a great manager. While we're talking of managers, and before going to my magic moments, I'm loving Arnie Slot. I think he is a breath of fresh air. I mean, he's always laughing. I like his personality. I like the way he plays football as well. Well, not him, but his team. And I love the answers that he bats back.
Listen.
Is Salah... Salah said that he wasn't going to play against Man City again, and his answer was, well, he might know what was going on with the 115 charges and they might be relegated. Great answers.
You see, the thing about all this, majority of us get taken for a ride by the men.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to give somebody with experience the job. Now, let's look at Liverpool. Klopp, there can't be anybody bigger than Klopp. I give you the Guardiola.
Yeah.
I have never seen, well, I can't remember. You might be able to put me right because I might be wrong. I've never seen a manager when a top team has lost a top manager and gone on.
No.
And sitting at the top of the Premier League, where it's still, or First Division, where they can still go and win the title.
I think the only one...
They usually fall by the wayside, have 2 or 3 years out of it, and then they'll come back again. See, for me, it's not about experience. It's about, is that manager strong enough to do that job? Does he think out of the box? Because everybody else doesn't want to... I take that back. You could say about 95% will not think out the box. What they will do is stay within the box and look at it. That's what most people do. And that's why, the also-rans are not the elites. That's my take of it all.
I agree. I think you're right. When you look at top managers, and when we're saying top managers in recent times, you've got Klopp, Guardiola, excuse me, Wenger and Ferguson. And I think there's only Klopp who's gone, and the managers come in, and you could argue has took it to another level. He's actually, in the short space of time, he looks as though he's made Liverpool better than what Klopp had. All the other managers have gone into...
he left some big players out the other night against Newcastle.
Absolutely. But again...
And they look no different.
But again, I just love his
Salah
personality.
looks even better. And he'll never will be as good as when he was 21, 22, because your legs get... You get old, you get wiser, and you see things a lot different. And it's still proven as a great player. But your legs will start to give way when you're having to compete, having to run beyond, or setting off at a level pace, racing another player. That is no question of a doubt. Now, when you look at Klopp, when Klopp came in, it took him 3 years.
Yeah, did, yeah.
This guy's come in, and no, you look at him and nothing phases him, does it? He doesn't say the wrong things neither.
No, I think he says some great things, and that's my point, because again, he has had the transfer situations with Salah, Alexander-Arnold.
I still think Salah will leave me.
Yeah, I mean, he might. We're soon going to find out, because he ain't got long left. But neither has Oh, who's the Dutch centre half? You know, when a name just escapes you. Liverpool centre half.
Not gone as a company then. Dutch lad, come on.
Oh no, both of us are going. Arguably one of the best centre halves of recent times, and I can see his face, and I just can't. Oh dear! But, I mean, we're not even going to cut this because we do record it live, but it'll come back to both of us soon. The Dutch centre half that plays for Liverpool, who is an absolute legend, but he's got the three of them in essence that are in the last year of the contract, and are they going?
Van Dijk,
Virgil van Dijk, yeah. And are they going or are they staying? And the press have asked him the question time and time again, and he's batted them back with a smile, with a little bit of interest. And I just think that nothing has fazed this fella, whereas some other managers will come in.
You have hit the nail on the head.
Nothing's fazed him.
That tells you about a person.
Yeah.
That tells you about a manager. Right? Other managers start panicking.
Yeah.
They'll make some excuse. The board are not willing to put the hands in the pocket. The players causing this problem.
Yeah, not my players.
Looking beyond that, he's looking for a bit more money and so and so. Him, he just says it casually.
Yeah.
And it's not saying he wants him to go, but what he's saying is, we'll move on.
Yeah.
And that's what he will do. You can see he's got everything, like Klopp, to be a great manager.
Yeah. And he done really well with Feyenoord, and sometimes we've seen with Ten Hag and other managers that they come in from the Dutch league and they don't quite cut it. But this fella seems, at the moment, a different cut of the cloth.
He has not changed the way how he's played.
No.
From Feyenoord to Liverpool.
Absolutely.
Ten Hag has.
And he could have spent some money.
I thought Ten Hag would make a top manager.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to admit I've been a failure and so on.
Don't
make me one little bit.
No.
You know, people can have a go at me as much as they want. So what?
And to be fair, Ten Hag could come back and be a success. I mean, it just at that time.
If he learns on what the mistakes he's made.
Exactly. But this fella, credit where it's due. He has done a fantastic job, and keep it going, Arnie Slot, because not only do we love watching your Liverpool team play football, we love your press interviews, and I think the press interviews are great.
The Liverpool-Newcastle games over the years have been absolutely stunning.
There's been some cracking games and goals in there. I was watching Villa last night against Brentford. Yeah, I was going to watch Birmingham. I thought, I just can't watch League One.
I'll tell you the truth, Gabby. I thought Brentford might cause them a few problems because of the last few games. But they came through it really well last night, Villa.
And I do like Brentford. I thought it was going to be a good matchup, and I was wanting to watch it more intrigued than anything else. Like you say, Brentford's home form has been phenomenal. They've got the best home record, I think, in the Premier League. Away from home, they can't buy a win. It's bonkers. But I do think they've got some...
I cannot get my head round Bournemouth. I know,
again, they're another time.
Yeah. Look, I'm not having a go at them. What they have done has been fantastic.
Yep.
The people behind the scenes at Bournemouth and Brentford.
Yeah, and
but Brighton. I can't get my head around Brentford and Bournemouth being in Premier League when I've always known them being in fourth division.
Yeah, well again,
now the young guys will turn around and say, "What's it about fourth division? Championship too."
Yeah.
Called the old fourth division.
Yeah.
And they were always in that.
I mean, I remember Birmingham in the 90s, early 90s, we had a right few ding-dong battles with Brentford, and I've always thought of Brentford as a third division team. Again, it depends what era that you come from. Bournemouth, first thing I think about Bournemouth, Ted McDougall and Phil Boyer. You know, and a third division.
FA Cup, Man United beating them 9-something.
Yeah.
And I always remember McDougall keep scoring hat-tricks at Bournemouth.
Yeah, and I think he scored 5 goals, didn't he, in the FA Cup, Ted McDougall?
Yes,
and
he did.
He scored that diving header, I remember, against Villa at Villa Park when they had, I think, 48,000 in the third division, which is a highest third division game until Sheffield Wednesday played Sheffield United in the Boxing Day Massacre. And then that became... What's that? And then your attendance superseded that figure of 48,000 because you had 49 officially, and there's probably more like 60,000 in Hillsborough that day.
There would have been as many in Villa Park, don't you know?
Yeah, no, there would be. So I mean, they were both great crowds.
They're both massive stadiums.
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
Massive support.
Oh, absolutely. But when you do look at the record books, that Sheffield Wednesday game does slightly come out on top in terms of attendance figures.
Well, it is a derby, so it has that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean Villa Park. Yeah, Villa Park and Villa are a fabulous club and a fabulous team. And again with Brighton, I remember Brighton, 3rd division team with Peter Ward, and then come up through the ranks. Brighton over Albion.
I always knew Brighton as a 2nd division. Listen, I know Brighton as a 2nd division team.
Yeah. Well, you played against them.
I remember Clifford Taylor going down there when they were in 3rd division. I do know that.
Absolutely.
But I played at Brighton in 30,000 people there.
Yeah. I mean, Brighton's a good club.
Was it?
It was Goldstone
Ground.
Goldstone Ground.
Goldstone Ground, yeah.
Yeah, I used to love Brighton. I've always liked Brighton, though. I like Peter Ward. He was one of my favourite players growing up as a kid. I love Peter Ward. He scored some great goals. And then Wardy went and signed for Forest and it just didn't happen for him.
Well, it's funny because Cloughie liked players what could play.
Yeah.
And I looked at Cloughie with Ward. He didn't want to know him. Gary Mexon was saying when he took Gary Mexon, he said he couldn't drop a bag of wet cement or a medicine ball. And he did the same with John Sheridan. Sheridan could have gone to Chelsea and decided to go to Forest.
Yeah.
Same thing, he's got more chance of winning things under Clough than Forest. Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
No, for whatever reason, it just don't happen. Maybe the way that sometimes the players played and certain players that he's played with and different systems, etc. and what have you. And sometimes it just does not happen for no reason other than it just ain't happen. What did happen in my magic moments, top of the pops here, I got Barry Bannon's goal for Wednesday against Derby. I thought, like you two, I thought it was a cut above. Last night in some great goals. Isak's goal for Newcastle. Didn't that ball move?
One thing
against Liverpool.
We do see far too much football on TV.
Yeah, we do. I think there is too
much.
But
I will say one thing about it. We wouldn't have seen any of these goals like we are seeing now, if not for TV cameras throughout all these games.
Absolutely, and Prime have been doing it this week with the Premier League, so you can watch any Premier League game that you want, and some of the games have kicked off at 7:45 and some at 8:15, so when the one game finishes you can just move over and watch the other game. And streaming is the new thing. The FIFA Club World Cup, it is going to be streamed by DAZN, and that, the 32 clubs in there, this is going to be the first FIFA Club World Cup. I know a lot of people are dismissing it. I know a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not really that bothered. But it's, I think, a groundbreaking tournament. And I think in time, and we might both be dead too, but I think it will be a big tournament.
Is this coming to the end of the Champions League?
Yeah,
because I'm looking at this.
Super League.
You know as well as I do. Once they start to push a certain trophy, like the FA Cup, nothing was as big as the FA Cup. Nothing 100%. Only the World Cup. Only the World Cup.
Yeah, and then the European Cup. Look at that now. Yeah,
the FA Cup. All the world used to love to watch the FA Cup.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, they pushed the Champions League and the Premier League a lot more than the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And this is what I think they will do in this club championship.
I think it's going to be a Super League. I think eventually, in time, I mean, when we look at the European Cup, how that first started, Chelsea were the first team that could go in but didn't go in to the European Cup. Manchester United did and
went in, yeah.
Yeah, and then like season after we had the Munich air disaster.
Busby, specifically said we're going into it.
Yeah, did yeah.
The Football League didn't want them to go into it.
No, they didn't, and I think largely that was one of the reasons that they wanted to postpone the game, didn't they? I think they played Wolves on the Saturday.
Like I've been telling you all, Gabby, they do not want the fans in the ground. Now, people are going to turn around and say, what's he talking about? They want fans in the ground. There's going to be no atmosphere. They do not want working class fans in the ground. Man United have put that up, the prices up.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Something pounds.
£66, isn't it?
It's for the global fans.
Of course it is, yeah.
For the global fans, lads. I'm sorry to say to you.
It is, yeah.
I'm as angry as you are. It's going to happen. You know, but I don't sit back and think, well, so-and-so. I can see what's going to happen and I'll say it. I might get myself into trouble for saying it, but it has to be said.
Absolutely. And the FIFA Club World Cup, we have the Country World Cup, we're going to have a Club World Cup, that will morph into the Super League. There's going to be Super Leagues all around Europe and Asia and wherever, South America, Africa, etc. And they're going to have a Super League. Football's changing. Streaming is coming on board. We've seen this Prime thing that we're watching. That just doesn't come by accident. It comes by design.
It's all been planned.
Of course it has. It's been planned for a generation. Streaming. Now they've actually got the technology that they can stream. It opens up a new market for football clubs to get richer.
I think what they have done, they've did it for years and years and years. This is why the world's in a mess.
Yeah.
Because things are going to get laid out to all the corruption what's been going on.
Yeah.
For hundreds of years. It's all been built up for whatever's going to happen in the world.
But again, you look at
those pyramids weren't built there for pharaohs. That was some form of power station.
Yeah.
And I think they've had all the technology. Tesla, right? Who obviously was an old man. We don't know whether he died by himself or of natural causes, or did somebody have him knocked off? But the sat on his technology plans for years.
Yeah.
Or they've used them and made billions of it. So I think there's a lot of it what's been kidded, or we've been kidded as public, to what's been going on.
Maybe, but we do know now that they have the technology to stream live games of football. And we've said on this podcast that football is at a crossroads. And I think it is a very, very interesting time for football. And watch this space, because when the Premier League started off, it was a whole new ball game in 1992. Well, soon there's going to be a whole new ball game, and it's going to be football like we've never seen football before. I'll tell you the player who caught my eye the weekend, and he's caught my eye whenever I've watched him play, Tyler Diblin from Southampton. I want to give him a shout on the magic moments, because he produces lots of magic moments.
Let me tell you, if Southampton could cut these players out,
yeah,
he's not a bad manager in there.
No, I like him.
I know at times it looks shocking.
I like
Russell Martin. People turn around and say so. But it's silly mistakes they're making.
Yeah, they are. I watched them at Brighton. I mean,
they look a good team at times.
Should have beat Brighton. I mean, that goal disallowed was ridiculous.
They scored a great goal the other day,
Yeah, I know.
Against Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that one. I mean, they scored a great goal.
Well, Brighton it was, Brighton.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Brighton. Especially from one end of the pitch to other.
I mean, they play some great football. Southampton play some great football. I like Russell Martin. And
that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, what I like about him is he ain't phased.
Stop making the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
They play some good football then.
Yeah, they do. I think he's going to be a top manager, Russell Martin. And what I like is he just sticks to his philosophy. Look, this is the way I'm playing. I ain't interested if you think I should have a plan B. I am going to improve plan A. You don't like it, I ain't really interested. Go and write what you want to write.
Think outside the box.
Absolutely. So fair play to him, and good luck to Russell Martin and Southampton. And another manager that I really like, and you were the first one to identify him, was Michael Carrick. Finn Azaz scored a wonderful goal for Middlesbrough against Hull City. I like that kid, and I like a lot of these players that Borough have got. So when Borough live on TV, I shall tune in and watch Middlesbrough.
I'd be brave enough to give him a good quality Premier League team.
Yeah, again, and I think that Russell Martin is another one that you could give him a good quality Premier League team, and he would improve them. And I think that you would look and go, "Blimey, what a great manager he is!" Because he's going to work with better players. Better players make a better manager. And going back to the team that you were saying that never really kicked on when they got rid of the manager, and you're right, but thinking about it, it's a dynasty, it's a dynasty, depending on what way you look at it. And that was Liverpool with the boot room. When the manager moved, whether it be Shankly to Paisley to, whatever, they seemed to go even better. But that was because they were just passing on the same baton. When a manager has come in from outside, it's never quite happened. So Liverpool's boot room, Manchester United with Ferguson, well, try and pass that baton on to somebody, because they've passed it on to about 8 different managers, and it has been a poison chalice rather than a baton. But we have had the draw for the Club World Cup now. I didn't see who Chelsea and Man City have drawn, but good luck to all 32.
Man City's got Juventus.
Have they really? Well, they'll beat them.
Yeah.
They'll beat them. I watched them the other week against the Villa. Wasn't impressed with Juventus. Who Chelsea got, by the way? Did you see?
I did see it, but
I'd like them to go to play them home and away, and different, a little bit like we do with the Champions League.
Flamengo.
Flamengo. Oh, good. I mean, lovely Brazilian.
Yep,
Flamenco outfit there, and that's what I'd love them to go and play in the Maracanã, or play River Plate away, or Boca Juniors away, and bring that South American flair into the tournament. So yeah, good luck to them. I did see a screen grab. I don't know if you noticed it. I heard Ali McCoy talk about it on the Breakfast Show the other week. It was from one of these the film places, and it was Gladiator 2, Paddington 3. And it was a great away win for the wee fella. I thought that was... I mean, the typical football humour, isn't it? So, with Jesus saves, and then it's like Rush knocks in the rebound.
Right, yeah.
Football humour, fantastic.
We've got to have that humour back in our lives.
Well, I mean, we can't do without humour. It's part of our British culture. So if you don't like our humour, do one, because we are still... And football fans are fantastic.
I can remember banners at Hillsborough, right? Terry lays on more balls than John Collins. Banners. Terry's all gold. The banter of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And we've got to get that back into football.
Oh, absolutely, T. I'll tell you what annoyed me this week. All these rainbow laces, this... the captain, the captains, and
they should have refused to wear it.
Well, some of them have done, haven't they? And some of the players have refused to wear it.
Do you know if everybody just said no, we're not doing it?
They wouldn't have done it.
Stop that straight away.
And that's what they should have done with the Black Lives Matter.
The media can keep doing what they're doing, and the globalists can keep doing what they're doing.
Exactly. All this virtue.
The people, it's going to keep getting it out there.
Yeah, all this virtue signalling with all the FA and all these cobblers and all the rest of it. Keep politics out of football. As your old gaffer would say, stick it up your jacksie. We don't want it. We ain't doing it. And I'm waiting now to see what happens with Mark Gahey, because it was Jesus Loves You on his rainbow captain's armband.
Yes, I saw that, yeah.
So it'd be interesting to... I mean, if they suspend... Mark Gahey for putting Jesus Loves You at Christmas, so he misses the Boxing Day game.
It's funny. To do with Christian, where you wear a cross, a chain type of thing.
Yeah.
They have tried to block it for years, haven't they?
They try and block everything that they want to block, and then drive a narrative through the game that they want to drive through. I mean, all this LGBT, it really does get up my nose. I mean, I don't know what sex that Women's Footballer of the Year is, whether she was born a biological woman or not, or what testosterone levels she's now got because she was banned from previous tournaments. I don't know, but apparently there's 72 trans men playing women's football in this country, and the FA are still yet to mention anything or address it, because there are things that they will not address because they are told not to, yet other things they will address and they will suspend and boycott. It's an absolute disgrace. It is too. It's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
They can cancel me whenever they want to cancel me. I'm not, I'm not really interested, because women's football is women's football.
Yeah.
Men's football is men's football.
100%.
Women's athletic is women's athletics.
Yeah.
Not transgender people.
No.
Right? Because they're no good at their own sports against men.
Yeah.
Competing with women.
Yeah.
Those women have fought hard to get to the top of their profession.
Yeah.
And earn good money.
Yeah.
Right? Not for transgender men to come and take all the limelight away from them.
I think it's an absolute disgrace. But again, the Lionesses in particular and the FA, I mean, there's a bird that's top of the FA. I can't remember her name. She's inconsequential.
Good. When you say a bird, you said, don't talk to me like that. You're a girl.
Exactly.
Story.
You're an Elrig, you're a bird, you know.
You don't know the names. That's what you are.
Exactly,
you're a girl,
you're a bird.
Lady,
yeah.
Whatever.
And there is some bird, at the top of the FA, but she won't address this situation. She's been asked many times, emailed, etc., but she won't. But she will always address the LGBT, whatever they are. And it annoys me too, because we've done it before in the World Cup.
They get paid for it, Gabby.
Of course they do.
Gary Lineker got paid to push the propaganda.
Of course.
Gary Lineker played 80 odd times for England, right? And he wanted to be proud of England because he knows it's going to make him a lot of money by playing for England. His parents had market stalls in Leicester. Fantastic. But he has pushed all this agenda and made thousands of pounds from it, from the globalists. That's why I have no respect for Gary Lineker anymore. And I respected him like I used to respect women's football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of all the genderism with it and fakeness with it, I stopped watching it.
Absolutely, same here. But what annoys me with all this stuff with women's football, there is no need, there has never been any need to sexualise the game of football. We have no idea whether you're gay,
football,
straight,
Gabby,
or trans.
it's the life itself.
Oh, 100%. But they're doing it through football.
What was the saying this last 4 years?
Go on, what was that?
We're not going to go back. You're going to get a new.
Oh, you're going to go, yeah, got a new. We get women with penises these days.
That's the way I like. That's what they've pushed for years now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about time that we
they're going to get
back.
found out.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are.
It's about time we push back, so we call it as we see it. And the rainbow laces, keep it all away. We don't want them. We don't need it in our faces. We don't need to know what your sexual bias is. We have no interest in anything like that. All we have interest in is watching football. So take all your virtue signalling, all your political standpoints, take it all away, stick it, as Cloughie would say, or did say to Leeds United, hey, get the biggest dustbin and throw them all in there. And in terms of all that, ignite it, set light to it, and let's forget it and move on to football. Gen 10 at Brentford. That does sound like a film, going back to the films with Gladiator and Paddington. What a great initiative. Going back to Manchester United have put it up to 66 quid, even kids, because there's no concessions. It's all 66. Brentford have said, no, we're going to have this Gen 10. So the new generation, the young kids, if you're under 18, we're going to charge you no more than a tenner. And I believe for away supporters that are under the age of 18, they aren't going to be charged any more than £10. Great initiative by Brentford Football Club.
Listen, Gabby, I've told you, it's disgusting.
It is.
Well, you see, Brentford will probably know that they're going to get left behind when this Super League takes off.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They know what they're doing. They're not going to let the fans down that way.
No, absolutely. So well done to Brentford. I think it needs applauding. Gen 10. So any kids under the age of 18, they're going to be charged no more than £10 to enter games at Brentford Football Club's ground. Can't remember the name of the ground now. They call it a stupid name. I remember I preferred it when they had proper names, like Griffin Park, had a pub on every corner, proper old school football. FA Cup, third round draw. What a draw, T.
I've not seen it, Gabby.
You're not seeing it?
No, I've not seen it.
Well, you're drawn away to Coventry. That's a decent draw for Wednesday. Birmingham have got Lincoln. Ashley Young may be playing against his son.
I had my two sons on about that.
Yeah, with Everton and Peterborough.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
What's that, T?
Ashley Young.
Ashley Young.
Ashley Young
and his son,
his son's playing at Peterborough.
Peterborough, yeah. And obviously Ashley's at Everton. They've drawn each other in the cup, and maybe they might play against each other in the third round of the FA Cup. So, yeah, what a great story. Arsenal have got Manchester United. So that's the plum tie of the round. Non-league Tamworth have drawn against the only non-league team that have actually won the FA Cup in Tottenham Hotspurs. Manchester City have got Salford. So, there's some... And Newcastle, they've got I think it was Bromley away to Newcastle.
There's some giant killers in there.
And Liverpool have got...
By the way, that stadium is G-Tech Community Stadium.
Something like... It's a mouthful, innit? Why don't they just call it... Yeah, why don't they just call it something like Griffin Park? You know,
because they'll be getting paid thousands of pounds for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or millions of pounds for it.
100%. And that's the reason, isn't it? But well done, T, for that one. 3 p.m. blackout might be lifted with the next television deal.
I didn't quite hear that.
Well, you know, in this country, I believe we're the only country in the world that's got a 3 p.m. blackout. So we can't watch televised games legally in this country that kick off at 3 o'clock. But when the next television deal... Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But when the next television deal comes about, it looks as though that's going to be lifted and they will be broadcasting games live on your TV at 3 o'clock. So whether that would be good or bad for the lower league teams, I mean, who knows? It remains to be seen. Jeff Stelling wasn't happy about it, but, you know, these broadcasters are paying a lot of money and football will do exactly what they tell them to do.
What they're told to do.
Absolutely. If you don't like it, well, you're taking the money, resign from your job. I mean, that's what they do.
That's what they'll do.
It was like Qatar, wasn't it? Gary Neville and his cohorts. Well, we don't like Qatar. But don't go.
I have more respect for Matt Letizia than any other talented footballer.
100%. 100%.
Because he refused it and lost good money.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And a number of other football players, former players, were sacked. Not for the same reasons, but, you know, moved on from that Soccer Saturday. But this is what they do. Was
brilliant what you posted up with Ellen Chamberlain and what was the partner? When we're going to have a laugh now and play women's football, and she leapt back on the chair.
She'd what?
You posted it up, didn't you?
No, it must have been someone else on the group. I haven't seen that. What was
his name? I can see his face.
Yeah, it's Chelsea fan, and Tim Lovejoy.
Tim
Lovejoy, yeah. What did he say then?
He said, we're going to have a laugh now. Played a women's game, and she fell back in the seat, like, before all this started with women's football.
Yeah.
It was like he weren't taking the Michael out of it. He made a joke of it. You know what I mean?
Well, they used to, and that's what we done. Soccer AM was that. Of course we were. I mean, they used to have the York
in life.
Do you remember the
stones may break my bones?
Exactly, words are never
calling names won't hurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
It got so pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember the Yorkie Bar advert on Soccer AM? It's not for girls. I mean, now you'd have all these idiots phoning up. Oh, we want it cancelled. We want it. Look. Yorkies aren't for girls. End of. Get over it. It is what it is. Book corner. Mention for 3 books that we always do. Just one more goal. The autobiography of David Pleat by David Pleat. David Pleat, decent manager, wasn't he? Done really well at Luton then at Tottenham.
Oh, did terrific at Luton. Didn't really get a great run at Sheffield Wednesday.
No, yes.
And didn't really get a great run up to Tottenham.
But done okay,
I'm sure
didn't he, with Spurs?
A 3-year run, he would have done well at Wednesday or Tottenham.
Yeah. But again, I think he'd done okay with Tottenham, don't he? I remember him doing okay.
It's like, oh, else you've got to let these managers.
Yeah.
David Pleat's teams always played good football.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Always played good football.
I like Pleat.
And who's to say? I mean, I've seen some of the interviews and some of the players he wanted to bring in. If he brings them in, it doesn't mean that they're going to be a better team, but at least he feels better, and he feels that it may make them a better team.
Absolutely. Your biggest image of David Pleat, what would it be?
I shouldn't say it because he doesn't like it. Him running onto the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Radiantich scored the goal, didn't he? Yeah. Yes. I mean, that there.
And anybody who doesn't know Radiantich played for Real Madrid and then went and managed Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But only the younger generations. But I shouldn't say that because it annoys him. I've listened to him say, I get remembered for that type of thing. But it was iconic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
little Luton go to Manchester City main road and get a result what keeps them in the Premier League or the First Division back then.
Yeah, but again, it just shows David Pleat the passion. In fact,
but other than that, it would send me play for Sheffield Wednesday, destroying them a few times, and play for Everton and destroying them.
But also, what I would say is that iconic bit of video there with Pleaty running on reminds me in a similar way of when, very different as well, but Marco Tardelli when he scored the goal in the 82 World Cup final. And that passion where his arms are going, that was a David Pleat moment.
Do you know
as
what made make David Pleat feel a bit embarrassed about that?
No.
You know the light suit he had on?
Okay, yes, yeah.
It just might have been that because, you didn't see managers being loud like that, did you?
No, not really.
Liverpool got a lot of stick for when they...
Spice Boys, yeah.
Spice Boys. So for that type of thing, I think that's... Because managers do get passionate like players.
Yeah, of course they do.
To keep Little Luton up
in
the First Division, what a ginormous thing.
Absolutely. So well done to David Pleat. And again, I'd rather be... I wouldn't mind being remembered.
I would never be embarrassed
for stuff like that.
When I've kept him up.
I mean, when I go...
very difficult on the budget they would have had.
I mean, when
to compete against, the elite teams.
Yeah. I mean, with lots of people, you go, what's the one thing you remember about him? You go, I don't even remember who you're talking about. But with Pleaty, absolute legend. So just one more goal. And I think quite an appropriate title because, as you say...
But I get where he's coming from because, he's achieved more than that one thing.
I know he has. Yeah, I get that.
It's not that... It's just seeing him being elated for Luton for staying in the First Division.
Absolutely. So well done to David Pleat. And just one more goal, the autobiography of David Pleat by David Pleat. 71-72 football's greatest season, question mark, by Daniel Abrahams. We have done a podcast talking about that book with Daniel. A great book. I have it in my library, and forward by John Motson, none other than 71-72 football's greatest season. Was it?
And it was a great season. I can remember Leeds United and Arsenal FA Cup, but, you know, and how competitive the First Division was. Did Leeds do a double that year? Or Arsenal do a double that year? Something.
72 was Arsenal won the Leeds United won the FA Cup when they beat Arsenal 1-0 sniffer. And by the way, this third book we're going to be talking about is Sniffer: The Life and Times of Alan Clark with David Safer. That was Derby County that won it, didn't they, in 1972? Derby won it 72. Derby won it in 75 as well. It was Brian Clough.
The league.
Derby County won the league, yeah.
Oh, Clough won it in 72.
72, yeah. Oh, big head.
And then Dave Mackay won it in 70. What?
75.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they won it with the fewest
what a team
points.
He put together then, Clough, if we'd have stayed with them.
Oh, well, I mean, like, what Clough he done, you know, going back to
in
managers.
That period,
yeah.
I know I've distracted you from what you were saying. But...
No, but he is, because we'll stay on the Brian Howard Clough thread at the moment too. But you're right. I mean, what a team he had there at Derby County, and had Cloughie stayed there.
And you go on about, you know, people making mistakes. What about him and Peter Taylor? A team he put together.
Yeah.
You know, and I know he regretted it, but he would never say it out loud.
No. But I mean, what a team! And then, of course, in the League Cup final, it was Stoke City that beat Chelsea 2-1.
Yeah.
And Hudson standing right next to George Eastham that scored the winning goal. And then as they're turning away...
Who scored the winner?
George Eastham, wasn't it?
George Eastham, yeah, I'm going to say.
Yeah, for Stoke City. And Alan was literally standing right by. Alan in his flat in Chelsea has got that iconic picture of Eastham scoring and wheeling away kind of thing, and Hudson going the other way. And in fact, George Eastham retired, and Alan Hudson followed him down to the Potteries and took his number 10 shirt. But Stoke versus Chelsea, Leeds United versus Arsenal, and Derby County won the league. But again, a great season. Rodney Marsh on the front, Kevin Keegan, Bill Shankly, Don Reevy, and a wonderful book, a wonderful read.
I can remember going to youth club.
Yeah.
Right. Leeds had won the FA Cup, and they needed to beat Wolves.
That's right.
At Molineux.
Yeah.
On a Monday night. Monday night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a couple of days. It was that they played.
We talk about playing too many games.
Yeah, they played on the Saturday. Then Leeds were forced to play on the Monday night,
right?
weren't they?
And all hell broke loose about Leeds cheating. You know, trying to bribe Wolves and etc.
Yeah.
But you know, again, that would have been some achievement for Leeds United. I mean, they should have won more trophies, you know, what they did for that team.
Again, going on to Sniffer.
Sometimes you need that bit of luck.
Yeah, the Life and Times of Alan Clark. We've done a podcast with Alan. It's on YouTube, Spotify, iCast. However you access your podcast, it's on there. SRB Media podcast with Alan Clark, Sniffer Clark. And I've said to Alan, you know, regarding this scenario, and I said, the thing is, Al, you were pretty much going for the double, wasn't you, every year? He said the double.
Well, by the way, the word now you just said that, you're right, the word.
He said, Paul, we were going for the treble.
We got to quarterfinals and semi-finals then.
Yeah, he said we were going for the treble every year, not alone the double. He said in our day, you know, we didn't carry the big squads. So we were always in Europe fighting for European honours, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the Football League Championship.
Incredible.
And
it was a great team.
Yeah.
It's a pity, and Cloughy wound them up so much it was untrue. Even Cloughy would call them dirty Leeds, and they were no dirtier than anybody else. It's just that everybody joined in at Leeds, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I did say that to Sniffer. Thing is, with Leeds United, you could either.
Why get all your holiday decorations delivered through Instacart? Because maybe you only bought 2 wreaths, but you have 12 windows. Or maybe your toddler got very eager with the advent calendar. Or maybe the inflatable snowman didn't make it through the snowstorm. Or maybe the twinkle lights aren't twinkling. Whatever the reason, this season, Instacart's here for hosts and their whole holiday haul. Get decorations from the Home Depot, CVS, and more through Instacart and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Football, they ain't football. You're all right, fight ya. Because if you wanted to play football, they'd beat you at football. If you wanted to battle, they'd battle.
They all got stuck together. They all stuck together.
Well, Alan said.
Bournemouth just went 2-0 up, and he's obviously had it disallowed.
Oh, blimey!
What you look at Tottenham. Go to Manchester City. Manchester City look absolutely ordinary, and I know they're not playing well, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
They beat them 4-0, and then they've just gone back in the shell again.
It's football, isn't it?
I mean, they're losing 1-0 to Bournemouth. They're just showing you a big chance for Bournemouth, but it just got disallowed. So still 1-0.
But again,
weird football, completely weird.
Well, you made a living and a great career out of it, and it is weird, isn't it? And you look at, as you say, Spurs. They are just so Jekyll and Hyde, and the way that he plays, it is almost famine or feast. But I say, going back to Alan Clark, I mean, a great interview. I mean, he's a top player and fella. But that team, I would put them up there as one of the greatest teams ever to play British football.
Well, I would put them down as the greatest team in British football.
Yeah,
I would say that.
Yeah, I think that.
We could all like a football team, but if we are honest, that team was the best English football team we've seen play football. Now, I did not see the great Tottenham team of '63.
Yes, well, they won the double in '61,
right? But
didn't they?
Leeds did that for 10 years. Tottenham didn't.
Well, again, it was Gary Edwards wrote a book the summer of '63, and that was a summer with Johnny Giles joined, and that was pretty much the springboard for the success that went on to pretty much the European Cup final that they got cheated out of.
Did exact same thing. As Bill Shankly.
Absolutely, 100%.
Took them out of the Championship.
Yeah.
Old second division.
Yeah.
And made them this phenomenal force in football.
Yeah.
And the same with Liverpool.
And where did they win their first Football League Championship? At Anfield. And what did Reevy say to the Leeds United team? Go and take the championship to the Kop. And the boys were thinking, we can't do this. We're going in there. Anyhow, the Liverpool fans, what he said, were fantastic. They took the Football League Championship to the Kop. And now the Cup was shouting champions.
By the way, I will say this about Liverpool.
I mean, Clark hadn't started there, by the way.
They've always give the opposition good teams plenty of plaudits.
Oh, absolutely.
When a goalkeeper's done well at Liverpool, I can remember they used to come on second half, they're good at Cup, and the club applauded them.
Yeah, they always did. Yeah, Pat Jones
always
said that.
did. I can always remember that Match at Day and that type of thing. And I don't watch Match at Day anymore now.
No, absolutely. And these days they sing "You're getting sacked in the morning" to top managers.
That were a classic to Guardiola, weren't it?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it was short. Again, Scouse humour.
Listen, he must have been, I know he put 6 up.
I'd be pissing myself laughing if I was
But he must have
Guardiola.
been dying to laugh, you know.
I would have been pissing myself laughing with that. I mean, there's no other way he could have come back with putting the 6 up, but he must have been pissing himself laughing under there.
That would have been even better if he'd laughed.
Yeah. But
I'm telling you, it would have been even better.
But that's the Scousers for you. And again, I hear, were they being disrespectful? Oh, get a life. They're football fans having a laugh and taking the piss. That's what football's about. Again, a bit of fun. And this is the thing, when somebody has a bit of banter, a bit of fun.
You ask any footballer what they miss about football, majority will tell you it's banter in the dressing room.
Absolutely.
Going to any work.
Yep.
And that, you can hate the job, but the banter, what you may have at that place of work, will be fantastic.
Yeah. I think
we've got to get that back, haven't we?
I think it's like anything, the reserve team games, that banter, that camaraderie, that apprenticeship, if you like, learning your trade. All these things have been taken away in this modern woke world. And I think it is time that we got it back and I'll tell you the bit of banter I loved as well. I know you don't watch Match of the Day too, and I didn't watch it, but there was a situation where Mark Chapman was talking I can't remember who he was talking to. Moisey was there, and he was saying, well, it's only the Conference League. And Moisey's gone, what's wrong with the Conference League? With that look on his face. I bet they all went mad, didn't they? Oh, God, there's a viral clip going around. But again, it was classic. He just was talking, and Moisey
Has he finished now, Gary Lineker?
I don't know. That was Match of the Day too. I'm not sure. I think is he leaving at the end of the season, Lineker?
Right.
I'm not sure. I don't know who his replacement will be. I hope it's Mark Chapman because I do like him. I think he's a very good host. So I would be shouting for Mark Chapman, but unfortunately he's a white heterosexual male, so he probably won't get it.
Is he racist, that?
Hey?
Isn't that racist?
No, it's just fact, isn't it? I mean, you've got far more chance.
What I'm trying to say to you is, if we say anything, we're racist.
Well, of course it is.
Anybody says about a white heterosexual,
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not racist.
But no, you've got more chance if you're a black lesbian, introducing Match of the Day. And it is absolute fact. It's not racism. It's stating facts. Yeah. I think there's very few. There are some people that are racist.
The problem is too many people are trying to stand up.
Yeah, they are too. Look, there's nothing wrong with speaking your mind, being nice and just saying it as you see it. But unfortunately, in this woke world, everybody wants to jump down and, sack them, counsel them, bollocks, do me a favour. Behave yourselves. Chelsea to dominate English football, well, that's what the gaffer reckons. Can they?
Well, I'll tell you this, they definitely look a different team, don't they?
Don't they just? I backed Chelsea. Well, didn't back them, but I did say to Tom, and he never stopped taking the piss.
I thought Pochettino done well there, didn't you?
Before the ball was kicked, when Pochettino was the manager, I tipped Chelsea to win the league. And Tom reminded me every time, tip these to win the league. Well, yeah. But I did think...
I don't know what it is when they come to win, but with English football. Because they used to see it being on a negative basis. They're starting to do that, don't they?
Yeah. But I do think this Chelsea team, I don't know how they've done it, if I'm honest. I don't know how they've done it. Because there is an argument.
Because I'll tell you how they've done it. The coach.
No, I understand that, but I mean, buying all these players in. I mean, Chelsea bought... how they get round the PSR.
Gabby, whether you don't buy players or whether you buy players, you have to knit a team together
100%.
and gel.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how it's done. I don't know how they do. I hear Robbo and Martin O'Neill turn round and other players will turn round and say, it was just so plain and simple.
Yeah.
Right? He would say things and he knew what he could say and what he couldn't say. Right? He did little things like he'd go and sit at the side of somebody and go, whoa. Yeah. And if that player jumped, he said, well, I don't know whether to play you or not. But he knew we were going to play him.
Yeah.
He said, because you look nervous today.
Yeah.
Then that made it sound silly.
Yeah.
Right? Football is a simple game made very difficult by coaches.
Yeah, by idiots. But
whether they like it or not, I'm sorry, coaches.
Yeah.
it's a difficult job for you. It's not easy, and there can only be one winner.
Mm.
You make it difficult for yourselves.
Absolutely too. But where else I don't know how they do it. That's a reference to how many players and how much money Chelsea spent bringing in all these players. I mean, I don't know that because
That's a big
most teams,
problem.
most of
It
the
is a big
teams have had to
problem.
sell. But
Because whether they can't put everybody in the same dressing room,
well, this
so
is very
people
true.
have to be out of it.
Yeah.
But analyse it. All the managers have failed.
Yeah.
He's come in.
He's done
And he's
brilliant.
put a team together.
Yeah.
Right? And
Two
he's gone
teams.
blah. And a philosophy what suits that group of players.
Mm.
And they do look terrific.
Yeah, they do.
I know Southampton may not look good to other people, but at times they play some decent football.
Yeah, didn't help
They
down
got
to 10.
destroyed the other night. I don't know mistakes again. I get it. Don't tell me I watch everything and I analyse it.
Yeah.
I don't try to be like anybody else and agree with what everybody else is saying. I look at the mistakes that Southampton make, but I look at how good Chelsea are. Right? And they've just looked terrific, since this guy took over.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he'd done it. Again, to have two teams, one in Europe and one in the Cups, and then another one to play in the Premier League. And it looks as though, I mean, they all seem quite happy, with what's going on. Because when he puts different players in, like he changed quite a few, didn't he, against Southampton? And they win 5-1 away from home.
You may managers
Chelsea
turn
look
around
tremendous.
and say they play too many games, and if they're not playing, players moan and groan about it.
Of course they do, yeah. They just want
But
to play
you're right.
football.
He's got three teams that could play in three different competitions.
Yeah. And then Gabby Agbonlor, I think there's merit to this question. Should Premier League teams that are in the Champions League, should they be able to spend more money than other teams in the Premier League, because they're almost competing in the Champions League? And in terms of Villa and Newcastle, they can't spend the money that they want to spend to kick them on to the next level.
As long as there's no corruption, any club should be able to spend.
Should be, shouldn't they?
Whatever they've got to spend.
Yeah. I think eventually this PSR will fall by the wayside and you will be able to spend what you want to spend. Before we go on to football forecast, T.
Yeah, you better hurry up because I can hear that over your last go bad.
I just want to, Legends Lounge of the 70s, we're putting Alan John Clark, born on the 31st of July 46, Shorteeth in Willen, also is a local Midland boy. Started at Walsall, 63 to 66, scoring 41 goals in 72 league games. Moved to Fulham, 66-68, scored 45 in 86. Teenager at the time, by the way. I mean, when he went to Fulham, I think he was 19, so he was a teenager. He'd scored 41 goals for Walsall. Tremendous. Moved to Leicester City, played in the 69 FA Cup final, scoring 12 in 36.
Man City beat him 1-0.
Yeah, they did, yeah. Young, who was this?
Young,
yes. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who's the singer? Got the same name, and it was his Christian name.
Well, there was from Fulham, from Luton. I'll tell you his name in a bit. But Jerry Young played for Sheffield Wednesday.
Okay.
That Young sang Toast. I said he'll never make another record. And he's made some brilliant records. It'll come to me in a bit.
And they share the same Christian name as well, don't they? Leeds United, 110 league goals in 273 league games. And then he moved to Barnsley, 78 to 80. He was playing manager, wasn't he, for a time at Barnsley? 15 in
He did well
47.
as manager at Barnsley.
Neil Young. Harvey.
Neil Young was the Manchester City player.
Yeah, and the legend, the Canadian singer as well, Crosby, Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
I'm thinking of the one you were about, Crosby, Nash, and
Young. Yeah, Neil Young.
I thought you meant the Young from what sang Toast, and his great voice, that kid.
Oh right. Oh, no, Paul Young, ain't you?
Paul Young.
Yeah. Got a great voice. He done Band-Aid as well. He sang on that. They're re-releasing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he scored 10 goals in 19 games for England as well. TC, you done brilliant last week in the forecast, you absolutely nailed me. You beat me 5-1.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely smashed me all over the place.
So I've got extra points this week.
So it's 6-3. You've got 3. I've still got 6. You ain't getting double bubble for just smashing me. Although we should, going forward, if we score 6 or more points on any...
We'll do that next year.
Okay, next year.
Change it now. You cannot change the system this year.
We will have bonus points next season.
If I was in front, I'd be guaranteeing. I said, no, you're not, Gabby. That's stopping as it is.
Everton versus Liverpool, and Inchy isn't going to be kicking off with a smile, but who is going to be smiling after the game, T?
Well, you've got to fancy Liverpool.
Yeah.
But let me put down, Everton really, really defend there. I think I'm going to go for a 0-0.
What happened last night with Everton, by the way?
Oh, they're on the march now.
Jeez, 4-0.
They're on the march. We are with Arnie. We're going to win the FA Cup.
You can see why you got to number 1 with Singing the Blues, can't you?
Oh, don't tell me.
I'm going to go Everton 1, Liverpool 2. Right. Villa versus Southampton, I'm going to go... Do you know what? I'm going to go 2-2. I can see Southampton getting something from that game.
3-1 Villa.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I hope Villa do beat them, but I do... I just Southampton, whenever I've watched them, they look decent.
They look decent, but
I do like that kid.
For conceding goals, and it's costing them dearly, Gabby.
Having said that, Villa are prone to conceding some soft goals as well. So I think there's definitely going to be goals at Villa Park. You've gone 3-1, I've gone 2-2. Man United versus Forest, what do you reckon there?
2-0 Man U.
2-0 Man United. Not the 4-0 away winning, what was it, 78 when Forest destroyed them?
Yes. I think this manager's going to be a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He started off well. I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to give Forest a goal. I thought for periods, early doors against City, I thought they were in the game.
Oh, listen, I thought Forest have played some great football this year.
I like Gibbs White. I think he's a true.
Yeah, I mean, played some great football.
Great save.
I just think, it's a difficult game for them. This.
Nice to see Jack playing central midfield as well. I hope he stays there because I
thought he played quite well there, Jack, the other night.
Well, I like him playing in that. That's the only position I would play Grealish in. So hopefully Pep will keep playing him there. And sometimes that happens through injuries. Johnny Giles, that's how Johnny got his place, central midfield, when the wee batter broke his leg.
I got my place when I played up front with Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. But I always played up front before I came into professional football.
Yeah.
Inside right, inside left.
Yeah. And then sometimes you put out there, say Giles was, Bobby Collins got injured, broke his leg, and he asked the boss if he could play centre midfield with Billy Bremner, and then the rest is history, as they say.
Leeds United, right there, that is history.
Oh, tremendous. Leeds United versus Derby County, tasty one. Clough and Reevy revisited. Sadly, they'll be looking down and not there on the respective benches. I'm going to go Leeds. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. How do you see, T?
2-0 Leeds.
2-0 to Leeds. Wednesday versus Preston. How do you see this one shaping up, T?
2-1 Wednesday.
2-1 Wednesday. I'm going to go 1-0 to Wednesday. Mansfield versus Huddersfield. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. What's your shout?
1-0 Mansfield.
1-0 Mansfield. Cloughie's done a great job. There's a Cloughie theme tonight. And finally, Doncaster Rovers versus Cheltenham.
2-0 Rovers.
2-0 to Donny. I'm going to go 3-1 to Donny. TC, thanks for your time. Love to you and yours, sir. It's been an absolute blast again. And we will see you next week.
Yeah, you sure will. And I'm going to watch football now, Gabby.
Best of luck. Thanks, T. I'm going to switch over and watch it myself. See ya, and thanks for listening, guys. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Hey guys, 4-time U.S. Soccer Athlete of the Year, Landon Donovan here.
And I'm former U.S. and Premier League star goalkeeper Tim Howard.
And we're here to let you know about our brand new podcast, Unfiltered Soccer.
We'll be providing you with all of our insights into everything happening with the U.S. men's national team as they build towards World Cup 2026 here in North America.
And we'll give you all our thoughts on the latest news from MLS, the English Premier League, international tournaments, La Liga, everything going on in the soccer world and beyond.
And all throughout, Landon and I will be dropping in some of our most memorable stories from both on and off the pitch.
That's right. We'll take you inside the locker rooms, give you all the behind-the-scenes soccer info that you crave. It's our life in soccer, and it's unfiltered.
Subscribe to Unfiltered Soccer on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Make sure you follow us on all your social media platforms at Unfiltered Soccer.
New episodes drop every Tuesday.
And this week's episode is sponsored by The Gig in Acox Green, Birmingham. Our fantastic venue, bar and recording studio. Find them on all social media platforms. Just search for The Gig, Acox Green, Birmingham.